Excited to get opportunity to play Notre Dame. Certainly glad it's home. It'll be good to be back home. Really good football team, outstanding running backs, quarterback, tight end, wideouts. They're just really good offensively. O-line's good, running the ball more than what they did early in the year, and it's really working out, having a lot of success. Defensively, we've got some really good playmakers over there. Want to run man coverage, bring singles, disruptive on the defensive line with their movements, and so really good team. Played good last week against Purdue, and really played well against A&M, and Miami just came up short, a point and a field goal. But Coach Freeman's done a wonderful job there. We're looking forward to having a storied program like Notre Dame in our stadium.
Coach, just when you watch the film, and obviously against Ole Miss, it was the passing defense that struggled the most, and then Memphis, the rushing defense. Do you think maybe some over-adjustments that you had to make to try and get better against the pass might have hurt you guys against the run this weekend?
No, I don't think so. I think our problem is that we didn't tackle very well at all. So obviously we have to get better there. We have to work on it more and more. We don't have support. Obviously if you're in man coverage, you'll have support on one edge, tight end area, quick support. We didn't have support. We've got to play faster downhill from the secondary, and we got to get off blocks. We've got to tackle better at the second level and first level too. We've got to get guys on the ground. We can't have our leading tacklers, come from the secondary. So I don't know. I don't think so. I think we knew that they were a really good. We knew that we needed to stop the run to win the game. We practiced that way all week, and we couldn't do it. And it was some of those reasons that we talked about.
With Sorey, you kind of mentioned you thought maybe something had to be wrong with just the way he's played. Yeah. I mean, any updates there? Have you talked to him about maybe a nagging injury there?
I don't think it's that at all. I think he just has to play better, and I think if you ask him, he'll tell you that he needs to play better. He obviously has played well, played really well against Arkansas State, and we just got to get him back because he can make a lot of plays. He was there, on the long 60, 70-yard run. He was there to, make the tackle for a no gain, and they would have had to punt or go for it in their own territory. We just didn't get the guy on the ground. So I think he's healthy. He and a lot of guys, and we just got to play better.
Coach, do you think there's any kind of mental hangover maybe from the Ole Miss game, the way that game played out, or something with the psyche of the team? And then how is their attitude right now after two tough losses?
I don't think so, Trey. I don't, obviously the Ole Miss loss was hard, there's one thing to get beat and you don't have a chance or whatever it may be, and then you go down there and you go, I think everybody, like I say, everybody on TV there, our team knew we were going to win and then lose. I think you always have major concerns of how the team's going to be. I didn't, if there was a lapse, it would have been Monday of last week. I thought we got them back pretty good Tuesday and Wednesday. I didn't like how we finished Tuesday, but it was 90 degrees too, and that might have had something to do with it. But I thought we were ready. The travel went well. I thought we were 11 o'clock would have been our first early game, but I thought we were ready. Obviously, we came out 3 plays and scored. So, again, you look at this week, and, of course, there's a lot more noise now around the program than even there was after last week. And so you have some concern about the team, getting the team ready, but you also have the name of Notre Dame. And so, I mean, we're all grown men in there. We've got to shake that off. But to answer your question, I think it may have affected us a little bit on Monday.
You mentioned the outside noise and everything. Obviously, you're in a high-pressure job, but
Yeah.
Is there any added pressure for you with how things have shaped up these first couple weeks against Notre Dame?
You know, Trey, it'd be kind of hard to have more pressure. I mean, I think the pressure you put on yourself is obviously a lot because you want to do well for a lot of reasons. And but you know, I've kind of had this same type pressure for, I don't know, 3 years now. It seems like 40, but I think it's been about 3. And you know, we have an opportunity. The only way we can win people that don't believe in us or win some more positive thoughts about our program is to win ball games. And that's really the bottom line. You can say whatever you want, you can do whatever you want, but what's a score? You know, and that really is what changes people's perception or perspective of you. And we have a great opportunity here, you know, as we well know that we could be 4-0, we're 2-2, but I say that only because if we're 4-0, I think we're all sitting in here thinking we have a great chance to beat Notre Dame, and our football team will think that. We've got to rally around this week, but we'll do that. But to answer your question, probably not any more than normal.
Yeah, that was going to be my question. That you're that close to being 4-0, but you're 2-2. Was there any? Did you notice any lack of effort defensively or anywhere that bothered you from last week?
Yeah. We didn't run to the football and we didn't tackle well. A lot of times, not tackling is effort. Obviously, it's technique, but it's effort. With the more we had more missed assignments offensively, especially in the third quarter, than we've had this year. And it wasn't this guy, it was this guy or that guy or that guy or that guy. And so, you know, we obviously, you know, have more turnovers than we have had. And so, yeah, I mean, there's some things that mentally, you know, it's just not a physical game that mental effort, you know, and it may have something to do with the heat or what, I don't know. We've got to find that out today so it doesn't happen to us again. But I thought we were either fatigued or we weren't playing hard enough or both on defense as well, especially.
You come out kind of guns a-blazing on offense in every game in the first half. In the second half of the last 2 games is 17 points. What can you put your finger on what's happening there?
Well, last week I can. We obviously had drives there, especially, you know, the last 3. You know, we have drives right down the field where either I think everybody feels like we're going to score. We're moving the ball well. This past week was because we didn't run the ball. When we ran the ball well on first down, we were kept rolling, but we didn't run the ball as well as normal on first down. And then we had, you know, a turnover, we had a sack, and we had a fumble in the last 3. In between all that, we're really moving the ball. So, you know, obviously that's 2 out of 3 possessions that we had a turnover, and the other one we had a sack that we were well in field goal position, and we're 41 out. I don't think we're ready for 59 or 60 right now, especially at that point in the game.
Russell just had the 1 carry in the second half. Is he banged up, or what was behind that? He wished you wanted to use him more?
No. I mean, he ran the ball well, and we've talked about it, and we need to use him a little bit more. But but I don't want that to sound like when Mike's in there we're not any good. I mean, I could ask the question, how did Mike play? When he was in there, and I thought he played really well too. So, but you specifically asked about an injury, and he's not.
Do you expect to have Kenai Walker back this week?
I don't know. I mean, he's been in this weekend. He was in. He didn't travel, obviously, and we had people working with him. I'll know more on Wednesday, and that's not because whatever the injury report comes out. It's because of his walkthrough of his injury that he has to do, and if he'll progress today, and then tomorrow, if he progresses today, he'll be able to practice tomorrow, and if he does that, then I think he's going to be just fine.
Sam, obviously Omega Blake has been really great for y'all. I'm curious, was there times where you felt maybe Talon was zeroing in on him, or do you feel like he's still doing a really good job of going through his reads and progressions and things like that?
No, I think with Omega, I think Talon's going through his reads. I think with Omega, at times we're playing him too much. I think we've got to get somebody else in there and rest him a little bit. He may have played too many reps. And he's really effective when he's rolling, when he's not tired and those things. So, but your question was, did I think Taylor was zeroing in on him? No, I didn't feel that way after watching the tape.
I guess follow up on that is, what did you see on Talon's 2 interceptions? Kind of what do you think precipitated that?
Well, when he went out of the pocket, he tried to make a throw that, a deep throw on their sideline. That was just ill-advised. It wasn't there. And then on the second one down towards our locker room, he just didn't see the linebacker and threw it right to him.
Have you seen or known of player meetings either yesterday or today to kind of regroup after the past 2 weeks?
No. I mean, guys, we didn't get beat by 100. We lost 2 games. Our plan is to beat Notre Dame. What do we need to change? We need to tackle better. We need to run to the ball better. We need to take care of the football, and we can win games. So I'm not trying to make a mountain out of a molehill. The public will, but we've got a good team. We're doing the right things. We got to hold on to the football, and we got to tackle better, and we got to play harder, and we'll win those games. And so, no, I don't recall any meetings or anything like that.
After Ole Miss, Cam was saying that the defense was getting back to the basics. Where does it kind of go from here in practices?
Well, we just have to get better, and we've got to have guys flying to the football. We got to have the physicality, and I don't care what defense you run. If you don't run to the football and you don't tackle well, and you don't have that aggressive, let's go get them, I don't care what you're running, it's not going to work. And so we got to get our team to do that first. We got to get guys to get off blocks and make tackles, and I have no doubt that we will. But we've got to do that first before we figure out schematically exactly where to put them.
How encouraged were you by Bradley Shaw's game on Saturday and the future there?
I thought he played better. He'll have an opportunity to play more. But at the same time, I thought he got fatigued as well, and we just hadn't practiced much in the heat. And to be honest with you, it's not because we go inside; it's we haven't had heat, and we did on Tuesday. It was 90 here on Tuesday, and so that was one of my biggest concerns. That it wasn't going to be hot over there, and sure enough, it was, and we. I thought they played through the heat harder than we did.
Notre Dame's defense, I know you kind of broad stroked them, but what do you – they've given up some points.
Yeah.
23 to Purdue in the first half. What do you see from them on just what you guys can do to attack them maybe?
Well, I think we match up we match up. They're good on the D line, but I think we've got good matchups against them. I really like their Mike linebacker, Bowen. He can run side to side. We have to get him blocked. I mean, we just have to because he can run and he's physical. But they've run a lot of different coverages, a lot. Whether it be 8, 4, 6, and man free, and so we have to prepare for all those coverages. But where our matchup is what do we try to do? In other words, are we going to try to attack outside? Are we going to try to attack inside? Are we going to run Taylor a lot? But all those things, anytime you have a team that's really good, you have to figure your matchups. And I think we match up well with great respect against what they do.
The SEC schedule release is Tuesday night. Any thoughts about the 3 that you might see or could see, want to see?
No, no. I think I don't know who it's going to be. I think everybody. I don't know. You hear a lot of stuff. I'm trying not to hear anything right now, so I don't know who it'll be, and whatever it is, I'm sure the teams will be close. So that would be good for the fans, and if they can put some past rivalries in that close proximity. That's why you have rivalries, because they're close, and so I'm sure that if you're thinking of the closest schools to us right now, you've got a handful of opportunities there, and I really don't know what I heard about LSU possibly, and then I don't know the other one, whether it be Ole Miss, Texas. I don't really know. I really don't know it too. Well, you got to believe everything's reported. So, who we playing?
Texas, Missouri, and LSU.
By golly, that'll be it then.
Do you have any concerns about the guys holding on to the rope, so to speak? It's been 2 tough losses that grind you on you a little, or getting maximum effort out of them on Saturday?
No, not at all. Guys, as much as y'all want us to win and the state wants us to win, the guys in the locker room want to win too. And so it's Notre Dame. If I had a concern, I'd be telling you that I didn't think I had a good team or a good leadership on the team. And if I told you that, I'd be lying. So we'll be ready to play.
I guess prior to the Memphis game, you talked about wanting to simplify the defensive calls. Did you think you accomplished that this week in Memphis, or is there still more to be done there?
Well, they were pretty simple. To answer your question, we weren't late with any calls, so it didn't necessarily work for us, but it was better. Our kids got a chance to make we were better in coverage, but a lot of times you're better in coverage if if they don't throw the ball, and if they're running it, you don't want to be the top in defense on pass defense or run defense. You want to be on total defense, because a lot of times if you're giving up, say, 400 yards rushing a game and 12 passing, you can't go around bragging that you got a great pass defense. Hell, they don't pass it. So I think we got our calls in faster, and the kids had an opportunity to play quicker.
And then you mentioned finding the right scheme for this defense. How do you balance maybe just playing through it, allowing the kids to play better and tackle better, and making maybe bigger scheme changes on defense?
Well, we got to have the look. So you got your 11 guys, and you got the best 11. Then you got the next guy that you're going to put in, and this, that, and other. And it's not Pomp Warner. We're going to put them in if they deserve to play and all that. To me, it's all about, do we, make sure each and every week that we got the right guys on the field, the right guys, as you said, about Brandon Russell's carries, the right guys playing the right number of of snaps and all that. So, to me, that's each and every week you go back and you evaluate the coach, me, the staff, then you evaluate the players, and do you have the right guys out there with the right number of plays and the right number of reps. So that to me is right now more important to me than anything. Are we doing the right thing with who's out there in what position?
Sam, when you look at the defense struggling the way that it is, it obviously puts more pressure on the offense. If things hold up the way that they have been, will we see more emphasis on the run game? Will you guys attempt to run more than what you have the last few weeks? Or do you still want to be as balanced as you were?
I just want to score, and if that is slowing the game down, I would say, to answer your question, we would go more towards of slowing the game down than what plays we called. Simply because I think if you start talking about we've got to do something that may not work, but yet we're taking 2 minutes off the clock, I would rather, score points, but we could go to a little snapping the ball a little bit later.
The other thing I want to ask is, how many more facets to Rohan Jones' game is there at this point?
Wasn't that good?
The end around was pretty impressive with shades of Keith Jackson there.
Well, I don't know. He ran into. I think he hit her own play, going in. But yeah, wasn't that cool? That was neat. He was able to score on the third play of the game, and then wide open. With the tight end around.
The read option with Talon just wasn't as successful this week against Memphis. When you watch the film, was it something the defense was doing? Did he maybe struggle with his reads a little bit?
I don't know that he ran as aggressively as he has in the past. He's beat up a little bit. But obviously every game you have some reads that you're going, man, should have kept that one. Man, you should have gave that one. There was a few in there like that, but I don't know if it was any more than normal. They just did a pretty nice job on it. However, he got loose on a couple of them too for big runs, and one of them we got a holding, I guess, on the one, and so.
Any relationship between yourself and Coach Holtz? Obviously, he's kind of a through line between these two programs that have never faced off.
No, not at all. I mean, I was at his camp when I was a junior or sophomore in high school, and still no relationship because he sure didn't know who I was, nor should he have. But I knew who he was.
Any communication with Barry Odom or
Yeah.
plans about or comparing notes or anything about this game?
Yeah, I've talked to Barry, talked to him on Sunday, and so, yeah, I had a good, nice conversation with him about a lot of things, Notre Dame being one of them.
I keep asking you about mentality, but like when you guys went up 18 against Memphis, is there like any concern of yours that maybe the killer instinct isn't there, or maybe there's an attitude of we got this in the bag or anything like that?
Man, I don't think so. I mean, Trey, we're up 18 with a minute something left in the half, or I don't know what it was, 2, something like that, minute something 2, and they go 75 on us. So now, not only we take the 18 to 11, they got the ball. Now we did stop them, and we didn't do anything. I don't know if it's the lead, Trey, that because we haven't really, with the A-State and A&M and, being in lead, we just kept going, but you're talking about totally different caliber of situation. I don't know if it's that more than we've got to figure out offensively the third quarter, what coming out of half, going and scoring, and that's when those single guys. It just seemed like 15 plays in a row. It was just somebody, maybe not in a row, but it was just somebody that either, whether it be not running the right route, or whether it be missing a read, or whether it be not blocking an end coming underneath. It just seemed like that happened to us in that quarter a little bit more than it did in the first. So we got to figure that out a little bit.
I think Singletary played like 70 snaps. What do you think of his performance?
I want him to be more aggressive, and in the run game, and but you know, for filling into that role and all that, I thought he did a nice job.
Have you crossed paths with Marcus Freeman? What do you know of him? What do you think of him?
I like the guy. I mean, I like him in all his interviews, and I've heard a lot of really good things about him. You know, I asked Barry about him. Barry said he's really a nice guy. No, I haven't crossed paths with him at all, really. You know, Chris is over there, you know, who was here, you know, but I haven't crossed paths with Coach Freeman. But, man, I respect him, how he handles his business a lot.
You spoke about the running backs, but specifically, what do you like about Love and his backup's good, and then Carr? Can you speak to all of that?
Did I say I liked Love? I mean, God, he, you know, as I'm looking at tape, I'm going, man, this guy's sensational, and he's fast, he's mean. I mean, they brought a A-gap linebacker, Purdue. He just knocked hell out of him. The guy, you know. He can catch. He'll jump. He likes to jump. You know, he's a high jump hurdler or something. But he's special. Barry thought he was one of the best backs he's ever seen. You know, and then he, you know, talked about Price, and of course Price returned a kickoff for a touchdown, and you know, we call him 1A, 1B. I call him 1A, and 1B. The guy's great. He's a great player, and Carr, really good, man. I mean, so accurate, and runs the offense really well. And you know, they throw the deep comeback on the sideline as good as anybody, and he does. And it seems like he's always got it in the right spot on time. But they got a little roll protection that they run a deep comeback on that. I don't know what his percentage on it is right now, but it's high. He's really good player, and their tight end, I hope I'm saying it right, Raridan, number 9, is fantastic. He's second lead receiver on the team and doing a really good job. And Ty Washington's playing for him and playing well. He's caught 3 balls this year, and he's doing a good job for him. It's good to see and happy for him.
Big weekend for the program. What would you maybe say to the fans who are down right now? But you say we have a good team, and what they're going to see Saturday.
Well, we'll get on out here. We're excited about this game. I mean, we're not backing into the door. I mean, we obviously think we have a great chance to win the game, and if they want to see Notre Dame, they ought to get to the game, and they'll see a really good Arkansas team as well. We'll be ready to play.
Coach, appreciate you. Thanks, Sam.
All right, thanks, guys.